Hello everyone, God bless you all and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I would like to talk about false prophet Muhammad and why is he false prophet, and why I'm talking about him, and why I will be bringing all of these issues with false prophet Muhammad is because the Muslims are invited to spread Islam all over the world. They are called by their God to fight all those who disbelieve in their prophet, and this is their obligation. They need to do this, and they have to mindlessly follow and obey their prophet. And they are saying that he is the best example for all of the people, that we are all supposed to behave like their false prophet, and this is a major issue because when we look at the life and the morality of Prophet Muhammad, we would see that we have an array of moral issues with this prophet, false prophet, and this is why it's very important to know. And in today's video I will not go into all of the sources for all of the stories, and I will tell you that everything that I mention is going to be strictly from Islamic sources, and in majority cases all of the Muslims would do how they are going to defend this. They would simply say that this is nonsense, that it has been corrupted, that it's not part of the Islam, even though it's on their own sources, and some of things are very controversial, as you will see soon enough. And they say they say that this was invented up, and if people were inventing in the first century of the Islam, if people were inventing these stories about their prophet, they would certainly get killed. And the only issue is that now they are embarrassed from these stories, and now they are saying that they are not that they are just invented, and it's in their own sources. We have tons of them, and like I say, they only say that it's corrupted. So either way, if you're going to take approach that all of these sources are corrupted, then I don't know how can you trust a corrupted religion. And if the sources are right about Prophet Muhammad, then he's the most obvious false prophet in all of the history. And what's the issue with Prophet Muhammad? Well, firstly, his first impressions when he started to get revelations, his first impressions were that these are demonic, that he is demonically possessed. He was saying that he is even a poet or demon possessed, because in the times of Prophet Muhammad they believed that poets would get some certain powers from Satan or I don't know who to have poetry, and he was wondering if he is a poet or he is a demon possessed. And in a majority of cases the first impressions are correct. So at the earliest, so all of these stories are in the Islamic sources. So these first impressions of Prophet Muhammad, that he is demonically possessed, Muslims would say that this is corrupted, even though it's in the first century of their own Islamic sources as well. After he got the revelations, and how he got revelations, it's very curious as well. The so-called angel Jibril, who Muhammad didn't know at the time when he encountered him first time, he was not sure that that's the angel Jibril. Later his wife and his cousin helped him to realize that actually he got the revelations from God, but at the first he was not sure what's going on. So how he got these revelations is the Jibril tried to struggle in the cave. Jibril tried to struggle, I mean he didn't try, Jibril struggled Muhammad 3 times. He ordered him to read, and Muhammad, because he was a literate man, he was not able to read. Jibril struggled him so that Muhammad would think that he will die, and it was like 3 times like this, and then finally Muhammad was able to recite the Quran. So Jibril, demonically oppressed and struggled Muhammad, that Muhammad thought that he is demonically possessed, and he wanted to end his life because he was thinking that he is demonically possessed. This all raised question if he was truly getting the revelations from God. And as well, we have something very important. This is the satanic verses, which are very popular in Islam, and they're all over the first century of the Islam sources. So the only way that the Muslims would say that this is like what I'm saying, they would say that this is not truth, because like they are embarrassed of it. So that's the only way how they are defending of this. So actually what happened, because Muhammad, he wanted his tribe, Qurayshi, to join Islam so bad. This is what he wanted, and at one occasion when he was mentioning 3 goddesses that the Quraysh tribe used to worship, he said that it's good and it's even recommended to pray to these goddesses, that they are acting like cranes to lift the prayers towards Allah. And these pagans, after these verses that Muhammad gave, that they're allowed to bow to these pagan goddesses, to pray to them, that they're gonna bring the prayers to Allah, the pagans and Muslims, they all bowed down together in worship towards the Allah. And later, Prophet Muhammad came and he said, after he realized what he did, because Islam is all about just monotheism, like the monotheist, the polytheist, what they are doing, basically they're saying, they are defending many gods, like saying, we are good to pray to somebody else except God, because they'll only carry our prayers to them. So this is like, all in monotheism, and this is what Muhammad ordered to do, to pray to these 3 goddesses. And he later came and he said that Satan made him do it, and he said sorry, Satan made him do it, that Satan touched him, that in this time Satan put these words in his mouth, and he brought up these verses, and later they get abrogated from the Quran. And even we have remnants of these verses even today. The Muslims say that this is only a fabrication, but actually it's in the first century of the Islam sources. So if the Muslims would fabricate these stories about Muhammad, they would lose their lives. So it doesn't have any sense that Muslims would fabricate these stories about Prophet Muhammad. He obviously had the satanic verses, and this brings questions how many times he was under the influence of Satan when he was bringing the verses. At least at one occasion he admittedly says that he brought the satanic verses, and I invite you guys to check this up. I'm not talking out of my neck. This is directly from Islamic sources. As well, we do not. It's not the end here. We have many, like I said, we have an array of issues with Prophet Muhammad. And one second here. As well, he was. There is stories that Prophet Muhammad was bewitched, or that he was under the influence of black magic for a period of 1 year or up to 2 years. This is directly from their sources, and even Aisha, which was his wife, narrated that during this time of approximately 2 years, Muhammad would be confused. He would not know what he did in the last night with his wife, and he would be confused and stuff like that. And we have the sources that he was bewitched or under the influence of black magic, and we can just presume how many verses of Quran during this period Muhammad brought up under the influence of black magic. And as well, that's the part of the Islamic narrations. As well, we have the issue of Muhammad having intercourse with his prepubescent wife Aisha, when she was just 9 years of age. She didn't even hit puberty. He slept with her and molested her. This is all over the Islamic sources as well, and that's one of the greatest issues, that he showed taste in little children, and there is so many like disturbing things about Muhammad regarding this, and as well regarding the sexual life of Prophet Muhammad. We only have bad things as well. Prophet Muhammad lasted after the wife of his adopted son. So Prophet Muhammad had adopted son, and he went to visit his adopted son, but only his wife of his adopted son was at the house, and he saw her and he started lusting after her. And he after that married the wife of his adopted son. His son gave up his wife, and later Muhammad, in order to fix the mess that he created, because even even the people that lived in time of the Prophet Muhammad considered this to be very, very bad morally to marry of your own adopted son a wife. They considered this to be unacceptable, and he said that he only did it because God wanted to show how it's permissible for this to do, that this is like a permissible thing to do. And later that's crazy, like he allowed Muhammad to do it because only this was the example for the people, and later Muhammad abolishes the adoption. So now in the Islam we do not have this beautiful thing which is adoption. The Muslims are not able to adopt anyone into their own family. They can keep the kids, but they're never just be the part of their family. So adoption is abolished because Muhammad lasted after the wife of his adopted son. That's very sick and insane. And there is as well like one of the greatest signs that Prophet Muhammad actually had about his authenticity, that he is actually a real prophet. He was that the previous scriptures of the Jews and the Christians confirm him. Like this is like all over the Quran. And when we read our scriptures, when we read the Torah, when we read the Injil, we never find a mention of Muhammad. So he was bragging that he is in our scriptures, but there is no mention of him. As well, what I could say, that was the only way for him to say that he is the prophet, and actually simply he's nowhere to be found in our scriptures. And as well, there is one like interesting thing about Prophet Muhammad, that in some of the cases he predicted how he would die if he was a false prophet. He said that Allah would cut his aorta, and the way how he died was exactly like he said that he's going to die if he was the false prophet. So maybe there is one prophecy that he actually got correct, that if he is the false prophet, the way how he is going to die, he completely matching that prophecy. So my friends, as you see, we have no intellectually looking, and if we are trying to make sense of Islam, we have simply make no sense to follow Prophet Muhammad, the most obvious false prophet Muhammad in all of the history. It doesn't make any sense, but yet we have so many followers of Prophet Muhammad who are mindlessly following him. They even don't know all of these issues with him, because like the snake hide its legs. This is what the Muslims do. They're hiding the stories, or they're just simply saying that they are not truthful, even though it's their own stories. And it's crazy. It's simply, we cannot get any sense out of this. It's simply spiritual. If you don't understand that there is a fallen world who is trying to control us, then you will never be able to understand all of this. It's simply spiritual. That's why all of this is happening. That's why the world is preparing. I mean, guys, just even Satan, he doesn't know the hour when Jesus will come back. So that's why he's preparing right now. He needs to be ready. He knows that the hour is near, but he just doesn't know exactly when he will come back. So he's getting ready, and Muslims are getting, just to see what's going on in the Europe. They're trying to take us over with their pedophilic prophet and all of this stuff, and we have simply no reason to follow him. He has array of moral issues, and I simply didn't mention them all, and I'm sorry I didn't show you like any sources, because if I did, like this video will take 1 hour, and that's not my wish. I just want to warn you and see for yourself everything that I mentioned. Check it out, it's in the Islamic sources. And if any Muslims who are watching this, if they think that I'm lying, just let me know in the comments. Tell about what I'm lying exactly, and I'll show you sources. I'll show you everything. So do not worry, I'm not lying. I am telling you the truth. Muhammad is the most false prophet in the whole of the history. We have so many problems with him that simply it's not possible for him to be a prophet from God. He is the prophet of Satan. And please wake up, guys. Leave the Islam and recognize that Jesus is the real truth, that Jesus is Son of God. And Jesus doesn't want you to follow any religion. He just wants to follow him. Give your heart to Jesus Christ, not to some pedophilic prophet. Till the next video, the End Time Soldier. Salute you all.